Katie Melua's jazz and folk-influenced sound may be new for some American audiences.
I'm taken in by what you've told me, but keep it all inside your songs.
But she's spent the last 15 years as one of Great Britain's top artists.
There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing.
Her first 7 studio albums certified platinum in the UK 56 times.
My first record came out when I was 19. I'm now 36, and it's amazing.
We were leaving the mountain.
You just try and work as hard as you can. You make the best records you possibly can.
I watched as the whiteness melted away.
Her latest was released this fall, simply titled Album Number 8.
What has it been like launching an album in the pandemic?
It has been just full of, every day is a new experience.
Took my heart and lifted it to the stars, to the sky.
But Katie Melua is no stranger to dealing with life's challenges.
Being 7 years old and having sort of rationed bread, queuing in the bread line, that makes you realize, you really can't take anything for granted.
Melua was born in the Soviet Republic of Georgia in 1984. As a little girl, she had a front row seat for the downfall of the Soviet Union and the ensuing Georgian Civil War.
They were really happy years. Despite the whole country coming to a standstill, there was no electricity, there was no hot water. I'd go downstairs like 4 flights of stairs, get the water from the yard and then take it back up. And that was just life.
Melua discovered pop music during the family's 1 hour of available electricity when her uncles would listen to Led Zeppelin and Queen on a cassette player.
Then in the evening time, when the lights were off, my mum would sit at the piano. She would play Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. And so I think because of the darkness and because of the lack of visual stimulation, I was just really aware of the incredible emotional effect of a piece of music and what it can do to just change your state.
And her paternal grandmother helped her find the emotion in her own voice.
This was my grandma, Tamar. As soon as my focus would slightly go, she could tell. And she would say, Katie, you're not singing from the heart. You have to always sing from the heart.
When she was 8, Melua's family moved to the United Kingdom, where she'd learned English and discovered literature.
Reading and learning to write was a really big deal to me. It was actually just what literature was able to do to me that blew my mind. And I have to say, since I started making records, it's the words that I feel are my instrument.
Your longing is gone.
Melua prides herself on being the lyricist for all 10 songs on album number 8, a first for her. To prepare, she went back to school.
I actually took a bunch of lyric courses, but I did find it interesting that doing lyrics only didn't seem quite enough for me. So I enrolled onto a short fiction course here in England.
But in a sign of the times, it was Melua alone who created the album cover shot, thanks to the pandemic.
And I'd never used a film camera before, and I had to learn over Zoom, and the front cover ended up being the shot that I took of me looking at myself in the mirror. This year, there are no rules, there don't need to be any rules. And, you can just evolve and you can learn, and eventually you'll get to wherever it is you're trying to get to.